Hello everyone, this video is going to cover special angles and how to memorize them. The reason why I'm doing this video is because a lot of my friends struggle to memorize special angles, and I have a little simple strategy that can really help you memorize special angles really easily. Let's look at this table here. So you have so many different angles to memorize, right? How do we start? Let's look at this. First of all, we know that sine 0 is just 0. Next up, sine 30 degrees or sine pi over 6 is just half. Now, how do I memorize it? I just remember sine 0 starts at 0, or to follow a pattern is actually square root 0 over 2. The next one, which is sine 30 degrees, is square root 1 over 2, or just half. And if you look, sine 45 degrees is square root 2 over 2. Sine 60 degrees is just square root 3 over 2. And finally, sine 90 degrees, if you look at the graph, we know this as just 1. Right? If you look at this, the square root is just increasing. Square root 0 over 2, square root 1 over 2, square root 2 over 2, square root 3 over 2. Again, the important thing is just to memorize these angles over here. 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, which all have a 15-degree difference. Cosine, if you look at this, just goes in the opposite direction as sine. So, cosine 0 starts at 1 and then decreases. Cosine 30 degrees is root 3 over 2, cosine 45 is root 2 over 2, cosine 60 is root 1 over 2, or just half, and cosine 90 we know this as 0, if you look at the graph over here. Now for tangent of x, which may be a little bit more difficult to remember, what I like to do is use this formula, which we're going to learn in a future video. Tangent x equals to sine x over cosine x. So over here, so let's say we have tangent 0, okay, we don't really need to use this formula, we know tangent 0 as 0 from the graph. Next, tangent 30 is just sine 30 degrees over cosine 30 degrees, which is this over this, which is 1 over square root 3. Similarly, tangent 45 degrees is just sine 45 degrees over cosine 45 degrees, which is just 1. And tangent 60 degrees is just sine 60 degrees over cosine 60 degrees, which is root 3 over 2 over half, which is just root 3. And finally, tangent 90 degrees is this vertical asymptote over here, and this works. 1 over 0 is just undefined. For any angles beyond 90 degrees, you either want to look at the graphs over here. Look at this, you have sine 180 degrees equals to 0, sine 360 degrees or sine 2 pi is also equals to 0, right? Or you can refer to some of the fundamental identities from the previous video, like sine 120 degrees is actually equals to sine 60 degrees. And that's by this identity over here. But remember, the main thing, sine, this goes this way, cosine goes this way, tangent x, just use this formula over here, tangent x equals to sine x over cosine x, and then, if you want to find angles beyond 90 degrees, just use the graphs. Now with this, hopefully it's a lot easier to remember all the special angles.